Yo, yo.
Yo, yo, how's it going, everybody?
It's going. How's it going with you?
Yeah, very well. Thank you very much.
Yeah? You sure?
Yeah, very good, very good.
What's good? You know what? Like your background and your hat, it's like really busy.
I know, right? Even under here.
With your McDonald's headphones and
Well,
earphones, I
then
guess.
the
Yeah.
only bit with color in it is the is the blue of the headset. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's really busy. It's really busy. It's really yeah, it's good. I like it though. So a few people in the room today. Las Souls. Daryl, how's it going, buddy? Daryl, right? Yeah, Daryl. There's Raymond. Hey, Raymond.
As always, how you doing, Raymond?
And hi there, Brian. P.R.O.O.F.S Network Central. Okay, who is this? Hey guys, it's been a while.
Yep, you have to identify yourself, Facebook user.
Yes,
We don't
and
know who you are.
there's Mr. Don Vick is in the building. I had the opportunity last night. I was on a show with Matt and Don and myself, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. Last night? Was it last night? Yeah, it was last night. So and then IG, his co-host, was on as well. Uh oh, you're both wearing hats today. Yeah. Well, our guest is wearing a hat too.
Yeah, I felt left out, so I thought I'd put one on.
And there's Suzette. Hi, Bryan and Lex. How you
How you
doing?
doing?
Thank you for coming in. Oh, it's Jen Jacobs. That's who that was. Hi,
Ah,
Jen.
hello, hello.
Hey, Jen. It's been a while. It's been a while since you've been
We
here,
missed
and
you.
glad we came by. Glad you came by. I can't even talk today. So we have a lot going on today's show. A lot going on, as you can see in the thumbnail that was posted earlier in the week. We have Ken Allen, who's our first guest, but we're also going to have a lady by the name of Sabrina Oxford, who is from P.R.O.O.F.S, and we're going to get into that later on in the show, near the end of the show. We're going to bring her up. We got some great news, and it has to do with the global ghost hunt. And we're also going to be bringing up some other people too, and you'll get to see who they are. They're part of the administration staff, the supervisors, and obviously the director's already here, so I didn't need to inform them till I saw him a few minutes ago. This is what was happening today, and because I never tell them anything.
Nope.
I never tell them anything. Hey, listen, I try to get hold of you during the week most of the time, and you're usually either at work or you're going to bed or something's going on.
It's the fun thing about the time difference.
Yes, and here is Hope Paranormal,
How you doing?
and yeah, David Hope, and I believe he's going to be on the show next week.
Fantastic.
Yes, good guy. I first saw him. He was on Matt's show.
Ah,
Yes, and he's finding his way in to the paranormal community, which is a great thing. And he's a good guy. And we talked a little bit here and there, and looking forward to having him on the show. I believe it's next week. Is it not, David? I'm pretty sure it is.
you'd think
Love,
we'd know that, wouldn't you?
yeah, you think. Love Ken and Sabrina. They're awesome. That is true. I believe. Yeah, here's another one. Hey, everyone. You think people would learn?
Identify.
Yes. And if you want to get rid of the Facebook user, just go into StreamYard and accept StreamYard as the app on your Facebook page, and you will no longer come up as a Facebook user. And here's Chris. If you guys want, go over and check out Chris's channel. This is Chris and Dakota. If people have seen their show, Bald and Bonkers, Chris has got a great channel. It's really starting to grow. I'm not sour, brother. Okay, well that's great. That's good. So, anyways, yeah. So we have a great guest today, Ken. And people who know me and have watched this show people know that Ken scares me a little bit, and just a little bit. And I found out yesterday that Mr. Victor is a little scared by Ken as well. But Ken is a great guy and a big supporter of a lot of different channels. And he's got a great podcast on P.R.O.O.F.S Network Central, The Wizard's Table. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. He does have a co-host, Miss B, or Queen B, right? I believe it's Queen B. She goes by. Yes, I believe it is. So so anything up with you, Lex, this week?
Nothing really in the paranormal sphere, I'm afraid. Again, still trying to watch horrible channels. But other than that, when it comes to work, though, I did get promoted at work, so that's kept me nice and busy this week.
Yes.
That's about it.
So I've established for today's show that I found out just before we came on that Ken likes Lex more than me, which is fine. I accept that. So I am going to let these two talk today, and I'm just going to sit back and look pretty. How does that sound?
No, because I'm the pretty one too, Brian. So
yeah, okay, well. So I'm going to let you guys talk, and I'll chime in every once in a while. How about that? Sound good? Yeah, it sounds great.
We're both talking. Stop being silly.
So not a lot going on with me. Obviously, global. It was great. We had another haunted location sign up this week. So hopefully we'll be able to get them a team, or they're going to have a team. So yeah, it is the accent, Lex. It is the accent, Raymond. You're right. It is the accent. Isla's here. Is she still in the hospital?
Yep.
Maybe here till December. Oh wow. Well, hopefully you get out soon. Hopefully you get out soon. So without further ado, Lex and Ken will be doing most of the talking today, and they will have a lot of fun, and I'll just sit back and put up the chats and stuff like that. No, I'll talk. Anyways, I'm very mellow today. It's like today's Sunday. I just feel like blah. You know.
Well, Sundays are a horrible day anyway. I'm always like, ugh, on a Sunday.
Well, there's one good thing coming in the next week and a bit.
What?
World Cup soccer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you're excited. Canada is not exactly going to win it.
You never know. You never know.
I know.
They might go far. Go far.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited.
I will have to say, Coach has done a masterful job with this team.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm looking forward to it.
Going from the women's team and bringing them gold medal in the Olympics, and now he went from there and coaching the men's team, and he's done a tremendous job. Who knows how far we can go?
It'll be interesting if we get to play.
Well, when's your first date?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, we play.
We're not in your group though, so
no, we're in Group F, and we will be playing. Our first game is November 23rd, I believe.
Nice. Yeah, I'm really. Do you remember the last time there was a big contest on when was it England in the Euros, and I had to do the show after we lost in the final?
Yes,
and I was really moody.
The hospital that Isla's in was built in 1956, and it's very haunted. So you should be going around with your phone and filming.
Bring yourself, film while you're there.
Film while you're there.
My first game is on Monday the 21st against Iran.
Ooh.
So it'll be a win for us.
I don't know who to vote for because for obvious reasons. Okay, so without further ado, let's bring up Ken Allen. I think he's ready. He was looking forward to this, I hope. Well, obviously he was looking forward to it because he was going to have the opportunity to speak with Lex. There's Matt. Hi, Matt. Welcome, buddy. I'm assuming that's Matt. Mm-hmm. Okay. Without further ado, here is Ken Allen. Mr. Allen.
What's up, bitches?
Oh, fabulous way to start the show. So I don't know if you heard, but you and Lex are going to do most of the talking today.
That's
Not me.
fine.
I'm
That's
just going to sit
fine.
here and look pretty. Is that okay?
Yeah. Sugar daddy, you do what you got to do, honey. Ooh, Bryan. I could teach you some things, honey.
I pretty
Hey, I
much
got a
guarantee that
supply
you
of leather belts and barbed wire, honey. We could get together. I'll fly to Canada for you, honey.
Okay, I can see where this show's going. So again, Ken, thank you for coming on today's show. I
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate it. You know what? To be honest, I've been really wanting to get you on for quite a while.
What was the delay?
What you scare me.
I'm actually going to tell you, we have spoken about bringing you on before, and Bryan has always said, he's like, yeah, down the road, we'll definitely try and get him on. But I do have to get over the fact that I'm scared of him.
I'm not scared. Now let me elaborate on that. Okay. Let me, because you are a person that, I think it's your knowledge. I think it's your experience. I think it's your like you are very knowledgeable on everything when it concerns this industry, and it's a little bit, and I'm okay to admit this. It's a little bit intimidating. It is.
Okay.
And as a person, I think you're great. You don't scare me at all as a person.
Thank you.
But with your experience, with your knowledge, with the areas you're in, which I don't know a lot about. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on the show, because I'm always willing to learn more about this field
Sure.
in ways that I don't know. And I think that's where it scares me a little bit, because I don't know it. And because it's new to me, because I've watched your show several times, and I was right about Miss B, right? Miss Queen B, that's what she
Mistress B.
Mistress B, that's right. Yeah. So and when I watch your shows, it's like I'm just so deep into it and trying to listen and trying to learn, because I think for people that don't know you, they can learn a lot from you. And like there was a time during the summer where an incident happened with me, and I know Matt reached out to you, and we spoke, and you left me a voice recording and tell me, and you were helping me in this situation that I was in. And I'd never heard of that stuff. I'd never been really around it very much. And I think because of that, that's what scares me a little, because it's new to me. You know what I mean? And
Sure.
I think anything that's new to somebody and they're unsure about, I think can be a little bit scary.
100%. 100%.
But I respect. I respect everything you do. I really do. Go ahead.
Appreciate that. Thank you. No, I was going to say you would be amazed at the people that contact me with regards to the possibility of hexes being placed upon them, roots being placed upon them, or even spirits that are attacking them, et cetera, et cetera. People call me all the time or send me messages all the time about that shit. And sometimes it's overwhelming. I try to help this person and help that person and help this person. It's a lot, bro. It's a fucking lot. But yeah. I put everything into it that I can, because I do like people, even though most people are assholes. I do like people. So I try to help. Yeah. And of course, why not help you? You're like a sugar daddy.
Well, okay. I will take that. What I'm and I was really sitting back this week and really trying to think on what I wanted to ask you, and where I could see the conversation going and stuff like that. So really, and me and Lex talked about it a little bit as well. And really, my first question, and I think it's an obvious question: what is your background story? Who is Ken Allen?
I believe it or not, I get asked that question a lot. You know,
Yeah.
how did I get started with regards to the occult, sorcery, et cetera, et cetera. So I'll just tell you. Uh, so basically, my mother, she actually, okay, so my mother passed away July 16th. Her birthday was July 20th, and she passed away. Now, the reason she passed away was because of negligence on the part of, because I'm in Tallahassee, Florida, the capital, because of negligence on the part of Tallahassee Memorial Hospital. I'm not done with them. I will fucking curse those motherfuckers. I'm not done. But anyway, my mother, she was Sicilian. And of course, her mother and her mother and her mother, Sicilian. So I'm Sicilian on my mother's side. They practiced Sicilian folk magic, often called strega. Now they didn't go around saying, "Oh, I'm strega." They were sorry, that's my son. He's 5 years old.
Yeah.
But
I've seen him many times.
They didn't go around saying, "Oh, we're strega." That wasn't something they talked about or whatever. But that was my first exposure to anything paranormal or anything occult related. Witchcraft. Strega is witchcraft. It's Italian witchcraft. But there's a lot of Catholicism involved in Strega. A lot of Catholicism. Okay. And so my grandmother, my great grandmother, my mother, all that shit was passed down. And they tried to teach me that shit when I was like 8, 9, 10 years old or whatever. And of course I learned a lot from them. But I veered from the path, particularly the Catholic path. And then I started working with entities such as Lucifer and Belial and Beelzebub, and Fleurius and Astaroth and Orobas, all these demons, if you will. But yeah, that was my first exposure to the occult was through my mother. They were witches, okay? They were fucking witches. Now, I'm going to say this loosely, and I've got to be careful here because it's still very active in my family. There are organized criminal activity in my family.
Okay.
Now, for the most part, let's just say it's hearsay. Okay. And so my grandfather, my mother's father, was heavily involved in that before he passed away. He passed away from MS. And so the family went and checked out to make sure he really did have MS. Okay. They followed him from New Jersey down to Miami to make sure he really did have MS. He still attended the meetings and he was like a consigliere. Okay. A consigliere.
Okay.
To the mafia. But the mafia would sometimes employ strega women to help them to make decisions. They would call them in to their meetings. That was it. Though, other than that, the women was not involved in that shit. Okay. So
interesting.
I don't know. I've been practicing the occult in one form or another since I was like 10 years old, and I'm 47 now.
Okay. Yeah, I find it interesting because you were talking about Sicilians. I used to, at one time or another in my life, I used to be with a Sicilian woman.
Oh, shit. You poor bastard.
Yeah. And we were actually engaged, in fact.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, the the reason that wasn't going to work was because the mother my ex-girlfriend's mother was the one that wore the pants in the family, and there's a lot of different things. But what I find interesting, what you're talking about, the Sicilian and the please correct me if I'm saying this wrong, the strega, is that how it's pronounced?
Strega.
Okay. I know that family, they were very, very against everything paranormal.
Some are, because they're Catholic. I mean, they'll go out and they'll do a hit one day, and then the next day they're in church taking communion.
Yeah. And, you know, when I talked about paranormal stuff when they were around, they didn't like it very much. And then on top of that, I did the biggest. Now, this is the funny thing about all of this. I did the biggest mistake in the world when you were with a Sicilian or anybody in Italian for that matter. I never asked the father for permission.
Oh yeah, that's fucked up. You can't do that shit. No. You can't do that shit, baby.
Yeah. So it was never actually what's the word I'm looking for? It was never actually how do I want to say this? It was because I asked her hand, and I asked her to marry me basically. And the parents didn't approve because I never asked them first. So it was never actually agreed upon, I guess, or they never validated, or however you want to say. It was never true that we were engaged. That's basically what I'm trying to say. And then I knew the problem was really going to start when I found out they wanted to buy us a house, and they were going to buy it where they wanted us to live. And I'm not good with that kind of stuff. I'm not good that kind of stuff. So unfortunately, the engagement and all that stuff in the relationship never worked out. But
you would have been set for life if you had went with that shit.
Yeah. Oh, I know, but that's not what I'm about. So I don't like other people paying for stuff for me. That's not who I am. I like to work and do stuff for my own. Anyways, we're getting way off topic. So, anyways, go ahead, Lex.
I mean, definitely this is one of the most interesting things we're having to talk about. I think everyone on the show, to be fair, there's a lot to unpack here. What do you, when you're helping people out, what is it about your side of things with the knowledge of the occult stuff? How do you bring that into helping out with people, or is that two different things?
No, because I know my shit. You know, I'm often consulted by people. Oh my God, I think somebody put a hex on me. Oh my goodness, you know, this and this. Oh, there's a spirit, blah, blah, blah. Or there's a demon. You know, first of all, demonic possession, demonic infest. That shit is so fucking rare. It hardly ever happens. A lot of times, if there is a spirit fucking with somebody, it's a human. That whole demonic this and demonic that is fucking bullshit. That's fucking Hollywood propaganda. But I know my shit. I've been doing it for too long. Hell, I'm almost 50 years old. I just know my shit. You know, it's instinctual. It's instinctual.
And it's interesting because me and Lex have talked about this on the show, I don't know, countless times, about all these paranormal investigators that you see on YouTube seem to be seeing something demonic every single friggin' week. And it's not only not true, obviously, but it's true. It's so rare. Like because of my sensitive abilities, and I'm over 50, and I've seen 5 in my lifetime, and that is even a lot, to be honest. And I just don't get why these people believe, these people that are on YouTube, that they're seeing something demonic every single week. And it doesn't help that Mr. Zach Baggins seems to be being possessed every single week as well. You know,
okay.
And
okay.
So how do you try to explain it to somebody that it's just so rare and doesn't happen? And how do you try to get through to those people that are saying, oh, by the way, I saw a demon last week? And it's like, no, you didn't. How do you answer those type of questions?
If they are like religious, like especially them Pentecostal, you know, raise my hair up as high as I can and then, you know, use hairspray and no makeup and shit, and they look like the Walking Dead Pentecostal motherfuckers. Or just a Catholic even. Like, look, demonic. I'm just honest with them. I'm just like, look, this is who I am. This is what I do. Demonic infestation, possession is extremely rare. And the fact that you believe in this, you're a fucking dumbass. I'm not nice about it. I just tell them you're a fucking dumbass if you believe that shit. I'm not nice. I don't give a fuck. I don't care about people's opinion. Fuck them. I just tell them, look, dude, that shit doesn't hardly ever happen. And, I work with demons on a fucking daily basis. I work with demons all the time. These things, the demons are actually ancient gods that date back to ancient Mesopotamia, ancient Samaria. That's what they fucking are. The Christianity has just went, blah, with the demons and shit. I mean, they tried to demonize Odin from the Norse/Germanic/Scandinavian pantheon and try to turn him into a demon. Of course, that didn't work out too well. But they try to turn everything into a fucking demonic entity. There, all intents and purposes, there is no such thing as a demon. Demons like Belial, for example, is an ancient Canaanite god. He's an ancient Canaanite god. Lilith, that was supposed to go around and fuck all these demons and shit, and give birth to the Nephilim or the Nephilim. She was actually an ancient owl goddess that was responsible for taking infants, the spirit of infants at childbirth. Pazuzu. Have you ever watched The Exorcist, the original with Linda Blair and her bullshit? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Pazuzu is actually an ancient Sumerian. Yes, he's considered evil. And I say that loosely. But Pazuzu is an ancient god of famine and, fucking up your crops and shit. But you take a statue of Pazuzu, you set it in your house, you burn some incense, sandalwood, or whatever, and Pazuzu will protect you from other bad spirits. He was considered a god during the times of the Sumerians and the Babylonians and shit like that. So as far as these beings being actual demons, there is no such thing as a demon in the Christian sense of the world. And I want to say, demonologist. The problem with demonologists is most of them are Christian demonologists, specifically Catholic. They don't want to go outside their comfort zone. Look, if you're going to fucking claim to be a demonologist, you need to study Tibetan demonology, Hindu demonology, Babylonian demonology, Sumerian demonology. You need to study Egyptian demonology as well.
Oh,
So-
100% agree with that.
Yeah. I was just about to say that, Lex.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think that. Do you think there's been like do you think that, especially with I was going to use Hollywood as the example here, do you think Hollywood and stuff like that is just is that what's causing people to blow it out the water and blame demons for absolutely fucking everything?
I think so.
Yeah. And do you think that's like, does that negatively impact the way people view your work?
Absolutely. The thing is, paranormal investigators are usually afraid of me. They don't want me to do anything. They don't seek me out very often. I do have some that do because they're open-minded enough to do that. But most of them don't because they're afraid of what I do and what I work with, because I do work with demonic entities on a very personal and spiritual level. So I think that's Hollywood and a lot of these fucked up shows on what is, I don't even know if it's Travel Channel anymore. Everything's Discovery Plus, Travel Channel, whatever, Look, I don't know Zach Bagans personally, so I can't say he's a this or he's a that, but for some fucking reason, it's always a demon with him, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and it just amazes me that people fall into that trap and believe
everything's a demon. Look, I've seen human
spirits.
spirits. I have seen fucking human spirits I've been involved in certain situations. Human spirits can pose. Satan, I'm Satan, I'm Lucifer. You know, you get it on an EVP. You know, you get it on your EVPs and shit. Satan, I'm Satan. They're human spirits. And by the way, a human spirit can in fact possess a human being that's living. Human spirits can do that. I've dealt with that shit before. I'll tell you something else I've dealt with. A celestial entity, what you would commonly call an angel, was harassing a young couple about 9 years ago in their house. This particular home, it's local. This particular home used to be a Catholic church. For whatever reason, it was decommissioned, and I guess they left or whatever. So this young couple moved into this house. Okay. And they were experiencing paranormal activity. Their windows were opening and closing in the middle of the night. Toilets were being flushed. Books were flying off the shelves. Various other things. They were being pushed or whatever. So I have a jinn. I have a jinn guardian spirit. By the way, jinns, demons, totally different things. All right. A lot of people clump them all together. But I have a jinn guardian. He's been with me since I was 5, 6 years old. I actually saw him once. I could give you details as to what he looks like. But so they called me. They knew me through a friend of a friend of a friend. That's usually how people contact me. And so I went over there, and they told me their story, you know. And so what I did was I took a hand drum, just a small hand drum, and I beat that hand drum at 220 beats per minute. Boom, 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 boom. What that does, every human being is susceptible to this. What that does is that puts your mind into a theta state. When you hear that monotonous beat, boom, 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 boom. And that allows you to travel outside of yourself. Fare forth, as the ancient Icelandic vulvas would say. Travel outside of yourself. So I met my jinn on his plane, and he was like, you are not dealing with a human spirit. You are not dealing with a demon. You're dealing with an angel. This angel is fucking pissed off that this is no longer a Catholic church. They were being harassed by a fucking angel, bro.
Wow.
By an angel.
And that leads me up to my next question. What steps do you take when you're called in to take care of something, whether it's a demon, whether it was this angel? What are your steps to get rid of it?
Every case is situational.
Yeah.
I take it case by case, whatever. I do practice voodoo or voodoo, and I work with the Gedi. The Gedi are the death loas of voodoo, loa being the spirits that are elevated to godhood.
Okay.
Such as Papa Legba, Baron Samedi, Mama Bridget, etc., etc. So, or Peter Legbas. So what I do is I get into that altered state of consciousness, and I contact Baron Samedi. I contact my jinn, and they help to move this fucking thing on. Because even if it's an angel, I don't give a fuck if it's a celestial entity. It has limited power in the physical realm. Yes, it can flush toilets, it can open windows and close it. That's fucking parlor shit, okay? But once I contact the Loa, you know, they come in, they intervene, and that shit's done. Now, look, Sage, I want to say this too. Sage is bullshit.
I was just about to ask you that.
Way.
I was just about to ask you that.
Sage is bullshit. All right, Sage is good for residual shit temporarily.
Yeah.
I've dealt with residual haunt. That's the hardest goddamn thing to get rid of, is a fucking residual haunting, and so is a PK entity. PK entities are fucking hard because you got to concentrate on the living person who's manifesting that PK entity. You got to get their mind right first before that shit can go away.
So you think there is some, like, I truly believe in this. Do you think there's a lot of truth? The reasons people would have these particular demons or whatever you want to call them in their place, where they live, where they work, is because they're manifesting it?
A lot of people are manifesting it. I can give you an example. I live in Tallahassee, Florida. A lady contacted me through a New Age store. How the fuck they knew who I was, I don't fucking know, but whatever. Whatever. So I went to her house 3 fucking times, and everything that she was experiencing and everything that I experienced was that I was there. I mean, I talked shit that was in Aramaic, Latin, okay, and even Greek to an extent. And this shit didn't even respond. It's just like, what the fuck is going on? And I brought my apprentice with me. By the way, I went through 3 apprentices. They can't handle this shit, so they flee. They fucking flee. So right now, Ken Allen is not taking on any more apprentices. But so finally, I figured out this bitch is fucking manifesting this shit because she has some mental health issues.
I'm right in front of you.
Telekinetic entity, a PK entity, like an egregor or a servitor. So I brought my husband in. Now, I've been with my husband for 22 years, okay? And he is a very powerful psychic medium. Maybe you should get him on. He'd blow your fucking mind too, baby.
Oh, I'd love to.
And so I brought Kevin in there, and he talked to her, and he worked some shit out, et cetera, et cetera. Don't want to go into specifics because it would take forever. Finally, we got our mind right. Guess what? That shit was gone. Because I was like, God damn, I don't know what the fuck to do. I think this bitch is manifesting a fucking PK entity, Kevin. You got to come. So he did.
That's awesome. Lex?
You said, and I liked it that you said this. You said that there's only all the entities have limited power on the physical plane. And
yes.
I like how that's worded. How much of an issue could is it PK entity?
Yes, a PK entity.
PK.
Yes.
What's the potential dangers of someone doing that to themselves, and can they really be in a really physical in harm's way, so to speak?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, shit can fly off the shelves, knives can fly, they can get stabbed, wounded, scratched. Everything that you would see as a classical demonic haunting, scratching, punching, bruises coming out of nowhere, et cetera, et cetera. You know, I personally have created PK entities as servitors, but it's done under a controlled environment because I know what the fuck I'm doing. But somebody that's got mental health issues that manifest the PK entity, that's a fucking problem because that shit runs rampant. They do what they want to do. I mean, they do take on their own consciousness to a degree. They do separate themselves from that living, you know, that physical person and become their own entity.
Interesting.
But that also leads me to ask this. So when you see a lot of paranormal investigators do this, we've done it. It happened to someone who was with us when me and Bryan were on tour together doing these investigations. Do you think when people are trying to force contact with a spirit, that then, even if they know there's a spirit there and they're trying to really force it, do you think it could be sort of PK energy that's causing investigators to actually get scratched on investigations rather than it being a spirit, so to speak? Could they be doing it to themselves without knowing it?
Absolutely. The human mind is fucking epic. It's amazing, dude. It's amazing. Yes, you can do that shit. You can do that shit. Yeah, I mean, if you sit around and think, oh, I'm sick, I've got this, I've got cancer, I've got HIV, guess I'm not fucking kidding you, dude. I have met people who is hypochondriacs, think that they're sick, this and this. They have manifested cancer in their fucking bodies.
Yeah, that's really interesting because I have a friend that lives in Orange County in California, and she always and I told her when she was living here in Canada, I told her all the time that she was hypochondriac and stuff like that, because every time something was wrong with her, she was on Google trying to figure out what she had, and then she had that. And right now she's going through a really, really bad time because she lived in a place that had mold, and it had mold behind the walls.
That shit will fuck with your mind. Mold will fuck with your mind, bro.
Yeah, and she is really, 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 really going through a tough time right now. Her whole body, Her kids were going through a tough time because of the mold. But I sometimes wonder if she creates a lot of this sickness in her own mind.
I know
because of what she goes through. Yeah.
My opinion is yes, more than likely she does. I know an investigator right now. Every time he's on Facebook and various other social medias, he's talking about his health. Oh, this is wrong. Oh, that is wrong. Oh, this is wrong. Oh, that is wrong. And it's to the point, it's like, geez, fuck, dude, for real, for the love of Lucifer, what the fuck? And he create his body, your mind and your body and your soul, all that shit's connected, dude. All that shit's connected.
Yeah.
You can manifest cancer. You can manifest HIV. You can manifest pancreatitis. I mean, for real, I've seen this shit happen.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that, because I had somebody in my life that just recently passed away. And she passed away she had 7 brain tumors. She also had cancer throughout her body. But for as long as I had known her, there was always something wrong with her.
Yeah.
Always. She was sick, or something was wrong with her leg, or she goes, I have cancer. I know you did. She didn't. She ended up dying from it later, because she always talked about having it, and she didn't. And
she willed that shit.
And that's what I said. That's what I said to people that I know. I think she manifested her own death.
Yeah.
And she was only, I think, 46, 45.
That's sad. That's horrible.
And to have 7 brain tumors. Like, I thought she just had 1. I later found out she had 7.
Yeah.
And it's just, that amazes me that you say all that stuff, because I know people in my life that have gotten really sick because they always talked about getting sick. And then they finally got what they wanted.
The human mind is a powerful fucking thing. It's very powerful. When it comes to the occult, when it comes to sorcery, your most powerful tool is your mind. You can manifest any fucking thing. Anything.
Well, I haven't won the lottery. I've been trying to manifest that for years.
People, okay, this is a question I get. Well, you practice,
I'm being facetious.
No, you practice sorcery, and why haven't you won? I haven't needed to win the lottery.
Yeah.
Because I do spells. If I need $5,000, I'll do a spell. 3 days later, that shit will manifest in one form or another. I fucking kid you not. I just bought a brand new truck 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
And you manifested that, right?
I manifested that. 2 weeks ago, I bought a 2010 Audi 6.
Wow.
Not fucking kidding.
So, I mean, it does go to show. I mean, I say this quite a lot. I'm quite a simple dude. I don't there's nothing in the world that really gets me down at all. Whether I'm having money issues, whatever, nothing ever bothers me, because I always say, and I say it to my girlfriend all the time. I was like, everything will work out. It will be fine. I'll work it out. Don't worry about it. And I always say that it's because I'm so positive about every negative situation I'm in, and that's why they get better for me, because I go into it without feeling like I don't push the negative stuff onto myself. I sit there and I say, it's fine. I'll work it out. Something will happen. Don't worry about it. And
that's what I say too. Most of the time, I say everything seems to work out in the end. That's what I always say that to myself. Or there's another thing that I always say to myself, and it's a little trademark I have, that don't let yesterday use up today.
True. I agree with that.
And I always live by that. And I've always said that to myself for years and years and years. And I always think things work out in the end. So going over to your podcast, what started the whole podcast for you?
Okay.
This sounds like a story here.
No, not really. It's nothing profound. It's nothing profound. It just fucking hit me. First, the name hit me first. The Wizard's Table. The Wizard's Table.
I love the name.
Thank you. You just got a little more sexier to me, Bryan. But the name hit me first, and it's like the Wizard's Table. Where is this shit coming from? I don't fucking know. So I sat on it for I don't know, a month or so, and then I was like, you know what? I need to do a fucking podcast. Why not? Let's just do a fucking podcast. Hell, everybody's doing podcasts, right? Why not Ken Allen? Let's Ken Allen do a podcast, dude. And so I contacted Mistress B. She doesn't want her real name out there. And there's reasons for that. And I respect it. But so I contacted Mistress B and I'm like, hey, bitch, you're fucking tech savvy. You know how this shit works. Can you help me, you know, get a podcast started or whatever? And now keep in mind, Mistress B is engaged to my stepson. That's how we know each other. Yeah.
Okay.
She's actually from Washington State.
Okay.
Okay. But she lives down here. She lives in Panama City, Florida. I'm like,
oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm like 2 hours east of Panama City. And so she's engaged to my stepson. And so she's like, all right, well, you know, this is what you need to do. Blah, blah, blah. So I called her up one day and I'm like, hey, guess what, bitch? You're going to be my fucking co-host. She's like, what? Yeah. Because you're fucking smart. You're quick. You're intelligent. Again, you feed off of each other. You know what I'm going to say before I say it. If I can't convey something to the audience or whatever, you can fill in the fucking blanks. And there, again, nothing profound about the creation of the Wizard's Table. The name came first, and then I decided to turn it into a podcast about the paranormal and more specifically, the occult.
Yeah, you know what? When I don't know, was it? I think it was me. Was it me that I think I contacted Mistress B to come on because I saw your show on my timeline, and I contacted her because I think somebody shared it, and that's why I ended up on my timeline. And I contacted her, Mistress B, and asked her if she would be interested in coming on to P.R.O.O.F.S Network. Now, at that time, I think you guys were already streaming to several different spots.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you know what? If you want to, do a couple of shows, see what it's like, see if you like it. And I'm glad you guys did, because you guys bring an interesting twist to P.R.O.F.S Network with the subjects that you're talking about or the guests that you have on. With saying that, since doing the podcast, what has maybe been your biggest surprise since starting this amazing podcast?
Biggest surprise, the acceptance in the paranormal community. Fuck yeah, dude! The acceptance in the paranormal community has been amazing, beautiful, overwhelming. I'm so grateful for that shit. You know, the occult community does not like me at all because I give away too much shit. I give away too much shit. I give away too many secrets. But the paranormal community has been incredibly supportive. Yeah, that's been shocking. I figured the paranormal community would fucking hate us because of the dark entities we work with and because of what we stand for and what we do. But no, dude, so many people in the paranormal, people that you guys would not believe. I'm not going to divulge anybody's name, but contact me privately saying, Ken, you know, what's the deal with this? How do we deal with that? What should we do here? What does this mean? You know, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. The paranormal community, the occult community, they fucking hate us. The paranormal community, they love us, baby. And I love them back.
And that's all that matters, right? And I strongly believe it doesn't matter if anybody likes you or not. As long as you are liking what you're doing or love what you're doing, that's all that matters. Who fucking cares what people say?
Absolutely.
You know, at the end of the day, I've established over the last month or so, and it's taken me a while to establish this. People are going to talk regardless of what you say or what you're going to do, or the only thing you can control is yourself. And You know, somebody told me something very interesting. I forget who it was, and I wish I could remember his name because I'd like to say his name. He really believes, and it's kind of funny. He really believes that something happens every 3 months, that it's going to be in a negative way.
Really?
Yeah, every 3 months, something in a negative way is going to happen, and Matt is agreeing in the back right now, and it's true. It's true because something seems to happen every 3 months. Now, going back to what you were saying earlier, you could be manifesting that problem that you're having every 3 months, possibly. But anyways, I think it's gotten to the point in this field where we have too many people that are against each other and not, unfortunately, not supporting each other.
It's deadly, bro. It's fucking deadly. There's cutthroats and backstabbers and ass kissers and brown nosers. And those ass kissers and brown nosers are the motherfuckers you need to be wary of, baby.
Yeah, I agree. Lex?
No, I couldn't have put that any better myself. In fact, couldn't have said anything more poetic than the way you just said that there, Ken. So. But I mean, it's true though. I mean, before I joined the paranormal community, because again, when I started doing this, one of the biggest things that I enjoyed was how welcoming everyone was. So I can completely see how that made you feel as well. I think do you get pushback from paranormal investigators? You said that some of them don't like you.
Yes.
Is that just, do they not like you? And you said that because they don't like you because, you know, the dark entities you work with and stuff like that. Do you think there's also a rift there because they know they can't say certain things are happening because they know that you can sit there and be like, well, actually, do you think that's another reason why they probably just choose not to like you? Is for that reason?
100%. Fuck yes. 100%. 100%.
Because I think that's an important thing to touch on, because from my side of the fence, obviously being an investigator, I debunk everything I do. I try to debunk everything I do. So,
as well as you should.
Yeah, because it's for me, it's a science. Like, you know, when you do an experiment, you test for all positive, every result. You test for everything, and you see where you land. And even if you can't find an answer, it might not be paranormal to start with. It's just you might not be able to explain it. And I feel like that's what puts a lot of investigators on edge. So there are people that I know that I obviously do the a segment on the show, which you're obviously aware of, the Faker segment. And I know that people, and I know that there are people that watch this show that never, ever, ever want to see their name come up on that segment. And I know there are people that probably won't send me clips of things they found because I'm going to they think I'm going to expose them. I won't. I'll just tell them, like, it could be this, like, whatever. So I think that's probably why you might get some animosity, is because you can debunk it to a degree.
I'm sorry, Linda. Linda just, ooh, thank you, baby. You know I am, honey.
I figured you'd like that one.
And I'm not even into chicks, but yes, honey, let's talk.
I was going to say, you do have a lovely fan base in this chat room this evening, Ken.
No, they're good people. Like I said, man, the paranormal community, they are 100% supportive of me. There's a few that's not, but the occult community fucking hates me.
Why?
Because I talk about the occult. I give away certain secrets regarding the occult. Even little things, they fucking hate that shit. They don't want nobody knowing that shit.
Do they treat it, does the occult community, do they treat it almost like, I hate using this as a comparison because it's completely two different things, but with magicians, and they have the magic circle and they have secrets to keep, and then if a magician reveals how to do a trick, the whole circle kicks them out for good.
Yes.
Do they treat it like that?
I knew you were going there. Yes. I have been blackballed. I have been blackballed, yes.
It's a shame, that, isn't it?
It is. Fuck them. I don't give a fuck them.
I was going to say, it's their loss. So
I'm still doing what I do. I still work with the spirits and the entities I work with. Me and Lucifer, we got an understanding. It's all gravy, baby. Fuck them.
There you go. You got one. You got one in there that likes you.
I think there's more than that. I'm a call.
Probably.
I don't know. I mean, Thank you, baby.
Yeah, that's great.
But
So,
then-
Lex, you want to get into your
It's a
now, people. Now, Ken knows this show. We ask a particular question at the end of the show all the time. This one's going to be a little bit different because Ken is not a paranormal investigator. So I'm actually really intrigued what this question is going to be. Go for it, Lex.
So am I, Brian. So, I mean, the question's not going to be as elaborate as it usually is because it's a completely different subject. But what should I say here? If you were given the opportunity to say something to every single paranormal investigator in the world, and you had to share one thing with them, from your expertise and knowledge, and to try and leave leave a decent impression on us. What's a valuable piece of the most valuable thing of information that you would happily sit there and say to all of us in one go if you had that chance?
That's a good fucking question.
That's a really good fucking question.
That's a good question, baby.
Matt's writing it down right now.
Oh, Matt, put down the pen. I'm copywriting that question.
That's a good fucking question, baby. I don't know. I mean, can I say more than one fucking thing?
You can say as much as you'd like, of course.
Oh, well, let me take my pants off.
It's an adult show.
It better be. Paranormal investigators. If you know anyone like me, but you ain't gonna find no motherfucker like me, baby. Employ more occultists, legitimate occultists. Employ more legitimate occultists in your investigations. Consult them. Consult more legitimate occultists. Also, I would say, investigators, whether it's Waverly Hills or whatever, listen, here's something that I think every paranormal investigator should do at least once, whether it's with your wife or a mistress or what the fuck ever. Let's use Waverly Hills. Go to Waverly Hills. Take off your clothes and fuck somebody. Have sexual intercourse. Have your EVPs and your digital recorders and all that shit going, your infrareds. When you come, call the spirits when you're coming. That sexual energy, this is occult power. I don't give a fuck. Brian's like, what the fuck? Oh my God.
No, I'm not. I'm actually intrigued by it.
When you have sexual intercourse, the energy that is raised from sexual intercourse is fucking insane. You could power 12 nuclear plants. You better go over there, boy. You better go over there right now. You could power 12 nuclear plants with one sexual orgasm. I don't care if you're gay, straight, or autoerotica. You know what that means, right?
Yeah.
All right. Autoerotica, but don't choke yourself like NXS dude did. You don't want to fucking get choked to death and die, or David Carradine and all that shit. Have sex. And when you're coming, call on those spirits. Because when there's times when I practice the occult, that autoerotica is actually fucking used to manifest the spell. That is one of the ways I manifested that Audi 6. I used autoerotica. Go to Waverly Hills. Get naked. 12 midnight. Fuck. Have sex. Come and call the spirits. Also, use more occultists like me. Legitimate ones.
And for people that don't know, could you explain why they should be doing that?
Because sexual energy is so fucking powerful.
No, I mean, I know that the sexual energy. I mean, why should they be bringing on an occultist? Why do you recommend that?
A legitimate occult, because we know our shit. Because we don't have to go to locations. We don't have to go any fucking where. Right now, I am sitting, and I wish I could pan my camera around to show you guys. I am sitting in my ritual chamber. This is where I conjure, stir, summon, and invoke spirits. And they do show up. They do make in this particular place, they will make my house rumble and shit. I have seen full body manifestations of demonic entities, but they don't show up with fucking cloven hooves and horns and all that shit. They show up as very beautiful entities with an aura of light around them. And that's when I converse with these entities. That's something I've been considering doing for the Wizard's Table, is possibly doing a full-on conjuration, so you guys can actually see what I'm fucking experiencing here. Because if I could show you guys what I experience, if I could catch that shit on camera, it would blow the fucking lid off the occult world.
Oh, 100%.
Motherfuckers would want to come to my house. I mean, I would have to fucking hire fucking bodyguards and fucking, security guards and all kind of shit. I don't have to leave my home to bring spirits here, bro. I don't.
Just to follow up on that just quickly, how do you distinguish between someone who's legitimate and someone who's full of shit? The easiest way to spot the difference.
Ego. Fucking ego, baby. You get a sense of that motherfucker got an ego, cut ties with him. Now, I know I've been sitting here saying, I know my shit, I know my shit. I know I've been sitting here saying, I know my shit. I do. But I'm very humble. You get a motherfucker that ain't humble, you run as far away from that sumbitch as you can, baby. You run from that motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious. If you were to do that what you're talking about, that show, I'm wondering if Facebook would take that down immediately.
Oh, if I did a conjuration?
Yeah.
If I did a conjuration, yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of curious to see if they would take that down immediately.
I don't mean to get political, but fuck it, I don't care. Isn't Facebook more liberal than conservative?
That's a good question.
Let's be honest. Come on. We're talking Zucker.
No, because because I've done things I did something on Facebook and I got a violation for it, and it made absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Was that the 2 alien emojis?
The 3 alien emojis that I put on a post. I got a violation for it.
Well, I could put it on YouTube then. I mean, the Wizard's Table, we're on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I've seen some fucked up shit on YouTube.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I think we all have. But I would love to. I really, really hope you do that show, because I'd love to sit there and just experience what you're experiencing at that particular moment. You know what I mean? And that's something that definitely intrigues me.
And the thing is, when I'm in that mode, when I'm conjuring those spirits, I'm there, but I'm not there. Okay. It's like I'm being partially possessed on purpose. And that's cool. That's good. It's not a bad thing, because that partial possession helps me to make this shit come to fruition. It helps me to make this shit happen. So I'm partially possessed. And I seek that partial possession just enough where that spirit, that entity, I don't even want to say spirit, where this non-human entity can work through me to finish the conjuration, to finish the invocation/evocation. By the way, there is a difference between invocation and evocation. A lot of people don't know that. But yes, I'm getting to the point now where I'm not tech savvy. Fucking technology is an enemy. But I'm getting to the point where I'm learning how to set up cameras in various places. I have a circle. It's on a mat. It's a black mat. It's made out of heavy fabric. It's called a universal conjuring circle, where when I conjure these spirits, when I conjure these demons, they're concentrated within this circle, and they actually manifest within me. My face changes. It's like I'm channeling them, and I do channel them. And one time I did this shit when I lived in my old house. I did this shit. and I had a SP7 spirit box, and I conjured Lucifer.
Oh,
and
wow.
it said, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
Wow. Wow.
And I put that on my TikTok.
That's scary. That's scary for people that don't know. You
Yeah,
know,
maybe,
like,
but I mean,
very
Lucifer is
scary.
the enlightener. I mean, if it wasn't for if we're going to get into, just biblical mythology, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's fucking
Yeah.
mythology. Biblical mythology. Lucifer was the enlightener. He was the breaker of change from the usurper. He broke those chains. He gave us enlightenment. He gave us knowledge. He gave us self-awareness. Again, biblical mythology. Otherwise, we were just fucking automatons walking around up. Let's eat an apple. We didn't know shit.
It's interesting because, like I said earlier, I'd love to see you do what you do, and so people can understand what you do. So when I'm trying to explain to people what I see, I try to explain it the best I can, and sometimes it's difficult for me to get my point across when I'm explaining what I see when I see something. And I wish I had the ability to bring people into my head so they can see what I see.
Exactly.
And yeah, and it's something obviously I'm unable to do. So I do my best to try to explain what I see. But anyways, other than that, Ken, this has been, I would have to say, one of our more interesting shows. And to have you on has been an absolute honor. And I'm so glad you came on. And so I haven't seen your show, The Wizard's Table, in a long time. Are you guys taking a
what?
little bit of a break, or are
We
you
are
coming back?
Yeah, well, no, we're coming back, honey.
Yeah.
Okay. We're coming back, baby. We just we needed a few months off.
Yeah.
I've got a lot going on. All good things. All good things. Mr. Spee has a lot going on, so we decided, you know what? Let's take a few months off, and then we will come back.
Cool.
Back, and we will do our thing. Check out the Wizard's Table. Go back into our archives. We archive everything on Facebook and on YouTube, where we read out of the Satanic Bible. The Satanic Bible is a beautiful philosophy.
That's Anton LaVey. Anton LaVey. I've got it as well.
LaVeyan Satanism is a beautiful. I am a Luciferian. Okay, let's just fucking get it out there. I'm a Luciferian, but the Satanic Bible is a beautiful, very fucking sound philosophy. Anton LaVey was way ahead of his time, honey. Way ahead of his time. First of all, I love you, Bryan. I think you're fucking epic. And I will fucking massage that head one day, bitch. It's gonna happen.
And we will make that happen. I'm planning to come out to Florida soon. Actually.
Oh shit! If you come to Florida, baby, you better come and see me.
Yeah, I will. I will definitely. You will be on my list of people that I'm definitely going to be seeing. But I really appreciate you coming on today's show, and I want to bring you back on later on down the road and talk more, because I think a lot of people can learn from you and learn a lot from you. And
I'll come back.
And for people that haven't met you, his links are below. His links are below in the description. I did put the Wizard's Table on there today. You did send it to me the other day, so I did eventually put it on there. And also your Facebook is on there as well. But what I'd love to do is, the next time I bring you on, I'd love to bring you on with Mistress as well, and have you both on.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, because she is, in my eyes, she is a brilliant person.
She is, and she helps me to behave myself.
Well, there you go. And it's funny you say that, because I was thinking it. I wasn't going to say it.
It's okay.
But
Lex, I want to ask Lex a question, though.
Yeah, go for it.
A lot of times Lex asks people, if you could investigate a place, I'm going to tell you, even though I don't go out and investigate. There's 3 places I would like to investigate.
Okay, what would they be?
The Tower of London,
That's a great one.
because y'all did some fucked up shit, okay?
We did. I'm proud of it. It's fine.
And Henry VIII, I love the Tudors. The show was great. Henry VIII, he did some fucked up shit. I mean, he didn't like his bitches, so he killed his bitch. The other place, this might rock some boats. This might be a little taboo. And the reason I would like to go there is because I would like to help those spirits move on. Because look, we all know, I'll tell you in a second, those poor fucking people are stuck there. They're reliving that shit. That's those concentration camps in Germany.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would like to go there to try to help those people to move on, because the horrors they endured, children, et cetera, that was fucked up. Fucked up. The last place would be ancient Egypt.
Have you ever heard of the Dead City?
No.
It's outside of Cairo.
Awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
Outside of Cairo. And there's 1 million people that live in this city, and they all live in tombs.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. Look it up. Wow. I have a buddy that wanted to do a short film there. So he just happened to be going on a cruise with his new wife, and they stopped in Cairo. And he asked if he stopped a taxi and asked the taxi if they can drive him to the Dead City. And they said, no, we don't go anywhere near that city.
Wow.
He had to pay him 3 times what the fare would have been in order for him to take him there. Because
I'd have paid that shit. I'd have paid that shit. Oh, speaking of cities, my Jen, whom I have been around, he came to me when I was about 6 years old. I saw him in the bathroom when we lived in South Carolina. Fucking epic shit. We'll talk about it next time I come on. But he is from the city Baalbek in the Middle East. Baalbek.
Okay.
Baal something, whatever. Anyway, Baalbek. That's where he's from. And I had not 1, but 2 Cuban medicine men confirm that for me.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Lex?
So.
Yeah. Just don't really have much to add on to what Bryan said, but it has been an absolute pleasure to finally have you on the show. And I personally want to thank you for how many times you do watch our show. We do see you every time, and we definitely appreciate that.
Thank you.
Competing with Raymond there to appear in our shows as often as possible. So.
and Matt.
But we know Matt's only here to rip off the show. That's the only reason he comes in.
Oh, yes, this is true.
Sorry, Matt. But no, so it is actually a really cool thing to finally get you on here and meet you in person. And I'm really intrigued with the stuff you talk about. So I actually just subscribed to your YouTube channel thing for Wizard's Table. I've still got 27 episodes to watch.
I appreciate that.
But I'm very intrigued with the stuff you talk about, and it's great to have someone with a different perspective on stuff come on the show. I know that we have investigators on all the time, so it is nice to have one of these shows where we're not just doing that. What a person to bring on to fill that spot. So thank you very much for doing that, and I definitely look forward to having you back.
You're very welcome, baby.
And don't worry, I'll still send a vial of my blood out for you.
Oh, I'm craving it as we speak.
Okay. On that note, thanks again, Ken, for coming on today's show. Really, really appreciate it. We'll definitely talk soon. Okay, buddy?
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Number love, y'all.
Much love.
That was great. That was great.
I'm so intrigued. I've got like tabs open of all these different things he was talking about. It's like starting from the Sicilian witch stuff. I've got like tabs all across my screen of like trying to keep up and so I know what to look at later. So.
That's great.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Not a problem. Not a problem, Linda. I'm glad you came in and watched the show, but it's not over yet. So we have a couple of people in right now. I'm still waiting for the actual main guest that was coming up, Sabrina. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up these two gentlemen. They are from the Global Ghost Hunt, and one is from the UK, one's from the States, unfortunately. And no, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Why you do that? Anyways, let's bring him up. This is Nando, who is a supervisor with the Global Ghost Hunt. There's Nando. Hey, buddy.
You all right, everyone? How you doing?
How's it
Good.
going, Nando?
How are you, man? How are you this fine Sunday?
Just chilling out, in front of my Christmas tree. I've got my tree up and everything.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, because I know we were talking the other day. So did you get in trouble for putting up your Christmas tree?
No, she was all right with it. She was happy.
Oh, she was?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
And she actually created the tree for me because I didn't get very far with it. So Sarah actually it off for me.
I'm terrible at doing trees. Mine will go up soon, though. It goes over there in that corner there. So it's going to go up soon.
Time round, I can quickly. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
See?
Yeah. So what I saw the other day
Better
is
than
not
Brian's
what it is
Christmas
right
tree.
now.
Yeah. There you go.
It's better
What
than
I saw
Brian's
the other.
tree.
That's what?
Better than your tree, the one that's behind you.
Well, that's not a Christmas tree.
Yeah, you said that last time, but we all know it's a Christmas tree.
With lights on it. It's not a
Christmas tree.
It's not a Christmas tree. Should I bring it close so you can see it?
No, I know what it is.
Oh, okay. It's just a tree with lights on it. That's all it is. It's not. And you know what? I will say this: when my Christmas tree does go up, it looks good. Not as well as that one.
That's all Sarah's work. That is.
Yeah. So what I was saying earlier, that's not what it looked like when you showed me the other day. So Sarah has touched it.
Yeah. So by the time I finished speaking to you guys, and Sarah come down, it was still the same. So Sarah did all their magic on their end. Got it all sorted. So that's a Sarah tree.
There you go. It looks great though. It's too early though.
No, it's not too early.
It's way too early. It's way too early. So when do you take down the Christmas tree? Do you have a tradition?
Just after New Year's.
January the 4th.
January the 4th?
Yeah,
12 days after Christmas, yes.
Mine usually comes down in March.
March.
Well, it's just because I'm lazy and I don't want to take it down.
I thought that'll do my.
I'm just kidding. It's not March. usually, I think it's usually a few days after New Year's is when I usually take it down. So, okay. So the next person I'm going to bring up, we all know him. We all love him. Sometimes. So, yes, we are bringing up Matt. Now, if people don't know this, Matt is with the Global Ghost Hunt. People know that. But some people might not know that he's our consultant with the Global Ghost Hunt. So let's bring up Matt. Hey,
valuable piece of information. Take pants off at Waverly Hills. Got it.
Awesome. That's great.
Okay.
That's
great.
Hey,
what's up, guys?
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Really good. And
okay.
Again, amazing show. Love
Thanks,
Ken
man.
Love
and
Ken
it was great. It was different, and it was a different show. It's not a, we've had a few different shows here and there, but that one is right up there. That's at the top right there. So the next person I'm going to bring up, and I wish she would have come up earlier because I would have brought her up first because I know she doesn't like being last in the Global Ghost Hunt spectrum kind of type of thing. And neither does PETA, but that's okay because PETA's not here. So, so let me all the way from Ireland. There is Jenny.
Good
Jenny.
evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Sorry, I'm running late. I was
so the funny thing is, Jenny messaged me earlier and said, "I'm sorry, I'm 5 minutes late." You weren't late. Because I was giving her the wrong time. I was saying 8:45, and I kept on forgetting that the hour difference, and it was actually 9:45.
Yes.
So, sorry about that.
No, you're good.
I left a comment up there, I think. Didn't I? I left a comment up there. Where is that comment?
Yes.
Where is that comment?
Which one?
You should.
Oh, here it is. There it is. I got it. So We have an announcement today. These people know what it is. And it's regarding the global ghost hunt. So let me give a little bit of a backstory. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let me bring her up first. The woman of the second hour. And this is I think this is the first time we've had two separate guests on the show, right, Lex?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think we've ever had this before, so this is a first. So let me bring up Sabrina Oxford. She is part of this on what we're going to be talking about with the global ghost hunt. Okay, so here is Sabrina. Hi, Sabrina.
Hello, everybody. Can you see me and hear me?
We can see you and we can hear you. Little bit of a delay, but that's okay. So, long story short, last week I was watching the Don Vick show. Was it last week or the week before? I think it was last week.
It was last week. I think.
Yeah, it was last week. So this woman was on the show, and what is funny about that is, yes, I go on the shows on the weekend sometimes, but not a lot. I try to stay away from it because I'm doing it all week. So I just happened to come on when Dawn was on because I wanted to share a show, because I usually share everybody's show to the Hauntophobia page. I always do it. Every show that goes on. And then other people start doing it, and then there's like 5 different ones of the same show. So sometimes I have to get rid of those. But and I'm sorry, people, that if I get rid of yours, it's not because I don't like you. That's not it at all. I like you. It's just because the show's there 5 times in a row. It doesn't need to be. So that's why. So if anybody asks, because I've had to, like last week or the week before, I had to race some because it was up there like 5 times. So anyways, so I was watching the show, and this woman, Sabrina, and talking about her book, and she has a new book out. It's called 100 Facebook Friends. Her links are in the bottom. So if you want to go over and follow her, you want to go check out her book, it's there. You can do that. So I got thinking, and I wanted to reach out to her because of the topic or what they were talking about. So we ended up talking. She runs a foundation, a charitable foundation called P.R.O.O.F.S, which stands for People's Reach Out on Foster Care and Scholarship Program. Now, the reason I love this is because of the fact that when I was born, I was in the foster care system for about 6 months. I was lucky enough that I got adopted. A lot of kids don't. So I have a real connection to this. So, and also Matt being adopted as well, he has a connection to this as well. And I just loved everything she had to say about this foundation. I'm going to turn it over to Sabrina right now, and so she can explain what the foundation is, and then I'll get into why everybody's here today. Go ahead, Sabrina.
Okay. Currently, just for clarification, it is a charitable corporation meeting on its 501c3 status. We have a special announcement with Bryan that I don't know when he wants me to make that, but for the board members.
Yeah, we can do it. We can do that one after, but we'll talk about your foundation first, why you're on here with Global Ghost Hunt and all that stuff. So, yeah.
Okay, so what we do is when I was a person who did not get adopted out, was given up for adoption, but emancipated out of the system at 18. And I turned 18 and graduated the same week, so there was no, it was either go back to the same abusive home or on the streets, which is what 20% of foster care kids that emancipate out of the system go through, which is about 20,000 students every year that don't have any hope of college education or a solid foundation for their future. So what I've been doing with my books is I give up half my profits to People's Reach Out on foster care for the scholarship programs, and we teach them basically a transition from their high school and foster care into their college education and out into having a job. We have a long-term future goal of either renovating a abandoned building, or specifically we would like a school type of building because that already has rooms we can easily set up into sleep rooms and a library, food area for cooking and things of that nature. So honestly, I would like to, in the future, get a school just so that they have a location to go to. So when it comes to Thanksgiving, Christmas, birthdays, that they do have a place that, I spent basically my adult life, even though I got to know my birth family and my foster family does still communicate with me. That's a rarity for people, and it's just because I was persistent and didn't want to be alone, but it is a rarity and usually they don't reach out. So this program is designed to help give them the first steps out there and a place that they can have for stability, and more importantly, if we can get to the point where we have our building renovated for them, that they have a place to fall back to when life dumps on them, because most people have parents or siblings or somebody they can go back to when they're like 27 and this fell apart or that fell apart. These people don't have that. And that's our goal, is to change that. Now, this program does not just apply to a foster care emancipation individual. You can spend any time in the foster care, but also if you are the first generational offspring of somebody that did spend time in the foster care system, and let's say their parents just didn't have it in them, because there are a lot of side effects to being in foster care. And one of them is that there's only 2% of them that actually go on to post-secondary education. That was when I got out. I think it's up to now 13%, but that's still such a low amount that we'd like to increase that amount. So we have allowed their first generational offspring, their children that they have, to be able to take advantage of this program as well.
Yeah. And I love and you said that on the Don Vick show as well. And I just love everything that this organization or charitable foundation is about. And I support it. And I think it's just a great thing. I think there's too many kids out there that could have had a wonderful opportunity to go on to secondary school, and they were in the foster care, but unfortunately there was no money there and nothing like this out there to help them. And that's what I love. And I think we need more of these type of foundations around the world, because there's a lot of kids around the world. And so I started thinking, while I was sitting there watching this show, and I was thinking, how do I get Global Ghost Hunt involved with this? I talked to unfortunately I wasn't able to talk to Lex about this because he's working stuff, but I've spoken to everybody else that's in this room, and along with Patty too, on how they would feel if Global Ghost Hunt was a part of this foundation, and they were supportive. So Global Ghost Hunt and this foundation are partnering up, and what we're going to be doing as a company, Global Ghost Hunt, is going to be giving some of the proceeds from people that are joining the Global Ghost Hunt over to this foundation. We are going to be doing that every year, every event, and hopefully we can get what Sabrina wants. Why is this keep on coming in this room today?
I got
No idea.
This spam.
I got it.
Yeah. So, it's fine that you want to spread out your hot girl stuff, please. So, that's what we're going to be doing. So everybody that joins the Global Ghost Hunt, knowing that some of that money that's being used is going to be going towards this foundation, which I love and I support 130%. So for people
Absolutely.
that are planning on joining the Global Ghost Hunt, you know what? Some of that money is going to be going to this foundation, which I think is really, really crucial for these people that are in the foster care system or the first generation, as Sabrina said, that they have support and they know they have support. And I know Sabrina was thrilled when I spoke to her about it. Now, getting to this part where some of you don't know, I was a little surprised. I spoke to Sabrina the other day, and she offered me something, and I will let Sabrina say what that is.
Okay, so when COVID-19 hit, we had shut down people's reach out on foster care because, you know, the world shut down, and we have to restart back up. And in that process, we lost our vice president, Ed Gregory. He was a good vice president, but, you know, God rest his soul, he's now gone, which left an opening in the position. And being that we have, being that we're going to partner with you guys and you're going to be sending some of your proceeds over to help foster care kids go to college, I offered Bryan the VP position on the board for People's Reach Out and Foster Care.
Yep.
Awesome.
So
Which I
accepted.
which I accepted. Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. I am.
So he'll be.
I am. Go ahead, Sabrina. Go ahead.
So 4 times a year, we'll have a 1-hour Zoom meeting. He'll be actively involved in deciding what these funds are actually being used for. So there is still control over the funds that you would be sending to us anyway. So I think that is a good fit for both of us, being that we're partnering up, and somebody from your team will actually be a board member for there. Now, we'll see how long he stays with us.
When I put my mind to something, it's usually for long term. So thank you, Sarah. And Anthony and Marcus, thank you for being in the room today. I am so looking forward to not only working with these, let me just bring this down, sorry guys. Not only working with this organization as the vice president, but also as a partner with the Global Ghost Hunt. And I'm just looking forward for a very, very long-term relationship. And the reason why I brought these people up was because these guys are just as important, like Lex, obviously we're doing the show, but Nando and Jenny and Matt are, you know, Jenny and Nando are supervisors, Matt being the consultant. And obviously I came to these people because it's just not my Global Ghost Hunt, it's theirs too. And I needed their support. And that's why they're here. And if anybody here wants to say anything, like Jenny or Matt or Nando, go ahead, Jenny.
When we were talking,
Jenny, go ahead. Yeah,
we were talking last week, and we were talking about it, and I was saying when our private talk that it was even emotional to know that these kids, young adults, will get this chance to do what they want to do in life, and not many get that. And you'll see so many, you know, the system would have failed them, or, you know, I think when they get to a certain age that has stopped and so on. I think this gives them more hope, and it's just phenomenal that you'll have amazing young adults out there using their gifts or their talents into doing what they want to do. And I just think it's absolutely phenomenal. And I'm totally proud to be part of it.
Yeah, so am I. Now, just this comment right here, this is Jen Jacobs. She owns a women's para retreat weekend and conference, and she's saying she would like to be involved as well somehow. And this is what it's about, you know. And I don't care what anybody says. All the fighting aside and all the drama aside, this community, the paranormal community, is the best community to be involved with.
Well said.
And we're all going or wanting to support each other. And I think a lot of people seeing this show, hopefully they want to be on board as well. And contact Sabrina. If you want to contact Sabrina, her links are in the below in the description. You can go follow her. You can go over and look at her book. But Matt, you want to say anything? If you want to ask anything to Sabrina as well?
Well, honestly, Sabrina, when Bryan first approached me with this one, it obviously, like you said, hit very close to home for me. I myself being adopted as well. I was one of the lucky ones who I didn't even get into the system, but I know I was that close. And seeing, you know, these young adults growing up without, you know, I mean, think about it. It's Thanksgiving time, Christmas coming, the holidays, they miss out on everything. And if they go to a public school, they see, you know, their friends, and their families, you know, celebrating. They're like, what about me? they feel left out, and something like this to give them a support and to motivate them will better our future. Will give them that opportunity and motivate them to further themselves and their career and their communities. So it wasn't even just a yes for me. It was a hell yes.
Yeah.
Right on. And thanks for your support. I know that within 3 years, what is it, 25% of them usually end up homeless without a job. And if they do have a job, their average income is $7,500 a year.
Wow.
So a college education will help that. Having a place to go will help that. Having a place to know that even if I fall down in life later, I can come back to this building. There will be a bed for me.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I can re-stand back up on my feet.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And Nando, you want to chime in here?
So
yeah, do you know what? Echoing what Matt and Jenna just said, it's such a great thing to be part of. You know, you hear so many of these heartbreaking stories about children that have gone into the foster system. You know, they haven't had the right opportunities, and then they end up, you know, going through drugs and even worse, death. And
Yeah.
being part of something so good is giving them a different path, showing them that no matter how hard life can get, there's always opportunities and other avenues that you can go down. And in a way, you're saving these people without them even realizing straight away. So it's just such a great thing to be part of, and sharing it out to everyone that, you know, you're there doing a good job and we're going to support that. And hopefully people can see that, you know, we're going to support this and they're going to jump on and follow suit. Hopefully give their support as well. So it's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. And again, if you guys
Right
are
on.
interested in purchasing Sabrina's book, 100 Facebook Friends, I do have a link below that you can go over and purchase her book, because the proceeds from that book, some of the proceeds go towards this foundation as well. And she has many other books too. It's just not this book. How many books do you have exactly, Sabrina?
right now I have 12 out. 3 of them are children's books that I wrote under my birth name, being that the first one was with my birth mom and it was a different genre. I have 4 of these books where I go out and I find people that are using their life in a worthy manner, and I put them into the books to help lift them up more. There's a lesson in here for us to learn from, or specifically I learned from, but other people could learn from too, to help us become the best people that we can be in this world. So I have those, and then 4 quick read books, like How to Propose Creatively, and Teddy Bear Tales, Becoming Spiritual, and Angelic Messages. So they're on Lulu, they're on Amazon. It only takes 10,000 books to send a foster kid to college if you buy it through Lulu. It takes about 15,000 books if you buy it through Amazon, and about 20,000 if you buy it through Barnes & Noble, because of the different percentages. But I do give half the percentage of what I earn to people's reach out in foster care. 10% goes to my church, and I live off the 40%. Minus the tax man.
Oh, of course.
You always got to
Of
pay
course.
that darn tax man.
The tax man is a lot different in the States than he is in Canada. That's for sure. I know the percentage is a lot higher. But no, it's great. And Jenny, you wanted to look like you wanted to say something. Did you want to say something?
No, I was just coughing.
Okay.
No, I was coughing.
Okay. And Lex, is there
Does
anything
anybody
you would
have
like
any
to add?
other questions?
Lex, I'm going to see if Lex does.
No, I think everything's been covered quite well. I just can't believe that we get to be a big part of this awesome thing that you've got going on. It's a huge honor. And I said to Bryan before when he told me what you do, this is one of the nicest things I've ever seen someone bring to us and to anybody. I think it's so important, and it's not talked about enough. So the idea that you to put all this energy into helping people that go through the foster system and education and stuff like that, I really couldn't. I can't find a single thing negative about it. It's genuinely amazing. So I just want to say thank you for bringing that up with us, and congratulations to Bryan to also being there to on the board for that. So
Yeah.
it was awesome.
Here's a question for you, Sabrina. Is there a link to make it direct donations to this charity as an extra?
Okay. The website, we're still having issues getting it processed live, but it's called PROOFscholarships.org. P.R.O.O.F, standing for People's Reach Out on Foster Care, PROOFscholarships.org. And that eventually will have a donation, but probably in spring, because we're still waiting. We're a charitable corporation waiting on the nonprofit status. And that is all up to government time. So until the government gets off their butt with some paperwork, we don't accept actual donations at this particular moment. We're aiming for spring, and the website should be up this coming week.
Cool. So we will let everybody know that, and I will let people know when it comes to this. People know that when they're signing up with the Global Ghost Hunt, they're going to be getting thumbnails and videos and stuff like that for the event. I will let people know that this foundation will be going into the videos, so people can expect that. I think it's important when I'm going to these Paracons. It's also going to be announced at these Paracons as well on the banners. So everything that we do as Global Ghost Hunt, we're also going to be doing for this for Proofs. Okay, so that's it. I want to thank Sabrina for coming up. Thank you so much for coming on, and we'll bring you on later on down the road. And we'll actually have an episode or a show with you where we can deep dive into it a little bit more, and more about your books, more about yourself, because there's a lot to you, and that people need to find out. And we'll definitely bring you on later down the road. I want to thank everybody else for coming up. If you want to wait in the back, we'll be there in a minute, and we can talk if you want to talk. If you have to go, I understand as well. So thank you to everyone that came on today's show. I want to thank Ken Allen for coming on today's show. Sabrina, we'll talk later during the week. And thanks, guys. Okay.
Much love, everyone.
Okay.
Talk to y'all.
That was great. A long show, but an important show. And again, I want to thank Ken Allen for coming on today's show. I want to thank Matt. I want to thank Nando. I want to thank Jenny. I want to thank Sabrina. And we're going to do good things with Global Ghost Hunt and Proofs. And hopefully, as the events continue each year, we'll be able to bring them more and more money so she can continue building or creating these scholarships for these kids that deserve it. You know, I know kids that have gone through the foster care system, and it's heartbreaking. It really, really is heartbreaking. And because after that, they're basically booted. Now, I know in some states, it's 21, but in most of the world, it's 18. So hopefully we can help them a lot down the road and for the coming years, because this is not a short-term one-time thing. This is a long-term relationship, and hopefully we can help them. And so that's it. That was the announcement that we wanted to make. I want to thank everybody that came in today's show. I really, really appreciate it, and all the wonderful comments towards Ken, and he's just a great guy. I want to say my goodbyes, and everybody have a great rest of the day or night, wherever you're from, and the rest of the week. And we will see you next week with another guest.
Yep, couldn't have said it better. Thank you to everybody. And don't forget to head over to our YouTube channel if you are watching this via Facebook. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to boost the numbers for the show, and the only way we can do that is if you go over and subscribe. But don't forget to tune in next week. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Sabrina. Thank you, everyone who came into the panel. And we'll see you next week. So stay spooky, guys.